Sawadee krap, I'm JP Mestanza, and it's Tuesday, October 15th. You're watching Phuket Xtra, brought to you by PVCPhuket.com. As of this broadcast, police in Kathu are still searching for the getaway driver involved in a fatal shooting in a small street near the Kathu police station on Sunday.
The shooting took place at about midday on Sunday, not far from the Kathu police station, according to reports. The victim, 38-year-old Suit Noket, who went by the name Lek, he was shot twice as he was trying to flee across the street to the police station. The shooting stemmed from an unresolved personal issue between the victim and the shooter. They met at a local restaurant to resolve their issues, but an argument escalated that resulted in the fatal shooting. The alleged shooter, 32-year-old Titipon Tongyung, reportedly used a 9mm CZ semi-automatic firearm. After firing the shots, the alleged shooter then jumped into a waiting vehicle and drove off in the direction of Kathu Waterfall as police gave chase. Authorities caught up to the vehicle, but during the chase, the alleged shooter, in the passenger seat, jumped out and tried to flee on foot, but he was arrested. He now remains in custody and is being charged over the fatal shooting. Meanwhile, police are still investigating and looking for the driver of the vehicle who managed to escape. For more, visit thePhuketNews.com.
A violent attack involving a sword, a gun, and a pipe has landed 2 Thai teenagers in custody and sent 3 men to the hospital with serious injuries, with police still investigating.
Reports say that the attack took place shortly before midnight on Nai Harn beach on Friday night. Authorities say that witnesses reported a group of teenagers launched a surprise attack on the victims and used various weapons, including a pipe, a sword, and a firearm. The victims included a 25-year-old who was shot in the arm, a 47-year-old who suffered a knife wound to the back of his head, and a 56-year-old who suffered a head injury after being struck with a pipe. All 3 are reportedly male Thai nationals. Witnesses told police that several teenagers were part of the attack, though police were able to arrest 2 of the suspects, a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old. The 17-year-old has been charged with possessing ammunition without permission, while the 18-year-old faces a charge of jointly attempting to kill others. Both suspects are now in police custody and will be brought before the court for further legal proceedings. The motive for the attack is still unclear. For more, visit thePhuketNews.com.
This year's Phuket Vegetarian Festival has come and gone, and officials are reporting that it was a big success, having generated 15 billion baht in revenue. But now some officials are turning their attention towards unspent firecrackers and the dangers they pose at the landfill in Sapan Hin.
The annual festival, the biggest on the island, attracted over 400,000 visitors to Phuket, according to statistics from the Tourism Authority of Thailand, the TAT. They say the Vegetarian Festival brought out 100,000 Thai nationals and 300,000 foreign tourists, most of whom were Chinese nationals, followed by Malaysians and Singaporeans. During the 9 days and 9 nights of the festival, from October 3rd to October 11th of this year, local hotels across the island generally enjoyed high occupancy rates, about 80 to 90% occupancy rates across the island's more than 2,000 hotels, with total revenue generated at 15 billion baht. Now, officials in Phuket town are looking at the potential waste management issues, as the biggest landfill on the island is in Sapan Hin, at the eastern outskirts of the city. This year's upcoming high season is expected to be the biggest since the COVID-19 pandemic shut down world travel. And with more tourists expected to visit the island in the coming months, some, like Deputy Mayor Supot, are concerned over the waste levels. The solid waste disposal facility at Sapan Hin is already struggling to keep up with the high volume of trash. The facility's incinerators can only handle 700 tons, but right now, it's processing about 1,100 tons of waste per day. Waste levels during the tourism high season is expected to rise to at least 1,500 tons per day, putting further strain on the waste management system. There's also the issue of unspent firecrackers from the Phuket Vegetarian Festival, much of which was simply sent to the landfill. When strips of firecrackers were set alight, not all of the firecrackers detonated, and the strips, believed fully spent, were discarded. The unspent firecrackers still had unused gunpowder in them, thus posing a fire risk once the waste was dumped at the landfill, and officials are concerned that they could be set alight randomly, especially once the rains have gone and the weather turns hot. Deputy Mayor Supot and others from the town's engineering division are discussing ways to dispose of those large amounts of firecracker waste and are keeping watch to prevent any incidents. For more, visit thephuketnews.com.
Authorities in Widget now have parents in custody over drug charges, but they're expected to eventually take legal action for child abuse as well, following an incident in which they allegedly left their 2-year-old girl unconscious and with a fractured skull.
Over the weekend, neighbors of the parents called an ambulance to their home in the area near Surakun Stadium after hearing noises of the alleged abuse. The neighbors had told police that they previously warned the father to stop, as they had heard several attacks over the last year, but say that this most recent incident was too much for them to bear. When police arrived at the home, they found the girl unconscious but still breathing, and she was transported to a local hospital, where she is still recovering from a fractured skull, according to police. Widget Police Chief Police Colonel Chatri Chukeo told reporters that the parents will initially be charged with drug use after results from subsequent tests came back positive. He said that police are still waiting results of the medical report to confirm the child's injuries, at which time they will press charges for that as well. At the moment, the parents are still in custody, and police, along with officials from the Ministry of Social Development and Human Security, were able to coordinate with family members to take in the couple's 2 children. Care and support for the children with psychologists is expected to take place, according to officials. For more, visit thephuketnews.com.
We really appreciate you joining us here today on this edition of Phuket Extra, brought to you by pvcphuket.com. We'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000, and luxury properties can go all the way up to $20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks-and-mortar investment offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.